This video review is brought to you by BigBadToyStore.com. BigBadToyStore.com, your #1 source for toys.
What's going on, guys? Today we are taking a look at Transformers Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Scorn. Now this is one of the figures that when I first saw him from the Toy Fair images, I had to have him. He is probably one of the most sought after, well, personally, one of my most anticipated figures from Age of Extinction. And I have to say, I have not been disappointed by this guy. He is very, very cool. This red Spinosaurus mold is just really neat. It's kind of like a combination between a Velociraptor and an Allosaurus and a Dimetrodon. I love this alt mode. I just think it's so, so cool. The alt mode is very cool, very nifty looking, and is pretty darn posable. It's not 100% perfect, but that's just the nature of the beast. Haha, I see what I did there. Tail doesn't really pose, because you don't really want to pose it, because things can get in the way. Legs can move in and out, and you can get some up and down movement. You can move them around and move the legs around a little bit. Head is on a swivel, though when you do move it, his neck is going to come apart in two parts, and his mouth does fully open, which is very cool. I very much appreciate that. His robot weapon, which is a sword, is stored here in the tail. And so we'll go ahead and pop that out. So it's stored right there. And if you're not careful, it's going to look like he's pooping a sword, but hey, he's a Dinobot. He is perfectly allowed to do that. Overall, as I said, a very, very nice alt mode. Transformation for Scorn is actually pretty cool. It's definitely different, but it has a lot of homages to Beast Wars Megatron, believe it or not. To start off with, we're going to take his frill here and unpeg the bits and turn them so that they peg in to the side of the Dino Mode, and then this whole frill section will slide back a bit. Take his dino legs and pretty much just straighten them completely out. Straighten them out and flip these side panels down, and then come behind the figure and swing the legs down until they snap into place. And there's this big red piece that's sticking out of the back. Flip that down and lock the legs into place. Then come up to the front here of the Dino Mode and take this section and flip it down just a little bit. And then we can turn the legs so that the red part that was pointing out the back is going to point to the side. And when you do that, you will push up the head and the shoulders. And then you grab the head and pull it up all the way. Now we're going to want to fix the legs. So come over to the legs and flip the middle claw of the Dino Mode forward to form his front foot. And then these side panels will open up a little bit to give him a little bit more, I guess, girth on the legs. You don't have to. I just like to do it to give him a little bit more girth, as I said, on the legs. Then come to the back here, and I like to flip the dino legs up as far as they will go up the back, like that, just to get them out of the way. Then, for the arms, bring this arm down and twist it around, just so that you can look like he's got a giant tail arm. And then the dino head will fold down, and he has a hand in the top of the dino head. So turn that around, all the way around. And you can either have him as a full dino head, or you could just have him doing a Beast Wars Megatron-esque head, which my good friend Cheats, or Cheatimus Prime, for those of you on different message boards may know him as, has already customized him into Beast Wars Megatron. I have to say that I love this robot mode. Is it absolutely 100% perfect? No, because there's a little bit of dino kibble hanging off in weird spots. And let's face it, any robot that has little arms coming off of his butt is going to be a little strange. But overall, I think it's a solid robot mode. I adore the head sculpt. I think the head sculpt is just really, really cool. It's kind of like this buckety head sculpt that unfortunately doesn't have any light piping, but I don't care. It's a very medieval helmet head sculpt that just works well for the figure. And it just looks nifty. I mean, he's like a super awesome Red Ranger Autobot mode. It just looks really, really cool. And like a lot of people are saying, he is going to be customized heavily into Beast Wars Megatron. Just, he is. Scorn's tail is made of very soft plastic, so you do have quite a bit of flexibility in it, and it does have a tendency to come undone. So just so you know, the little part with the hooks goes in towards the long part of the tail, while the flat part goes into the back of the tail. When I opened this guy out of the box, the tail fell off. So that's why I'm telling you this now. So in case that happens to you, you know how to fix it. I do appreciate the little hand here they have, or he has. He actually has a real hand, which I like, but it's not really necessary because you can just as well get away with him having a dino head hand. I'd be perfectly fine with that, but I am glad they have the normal hand. Posability is pretty good on this guy. He's got a hinge joint, double hinged knee, swivel above the hip, below the hip, ball joint in the hip. He does have limited torso articulation. Head is on a very limited ball joint. Shoulders are a series of swivels, swivel above the elbow, elbows on both hands, and then he's got some in and out flexibility for his right hand. No wrist articulation, unfortunately, but in all honesty, I don't think he really needs it. So Scorn is definitely a solid buy in my book. I think he is a fantastic figure, and he's so much fun. I love this guy. I love this guy. No, I'm not going to marry it. I'm already married. Thanks for asking. I just think it's a fun figure that really kids are going to love. I think kids are going to adore this figure. And I think well, let's face it, kids love dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are, in and of themselves, inherently awesome. So I really hope that that the dino figures fly off the shelves because they're just so cool. Getting him back into Dino Mode is a little bit tricky sometimes, especially when you're trying to do it on the fly and things get in the way. You just got to slow down and make sure you're doing it right and flip everything up and put everything in the correct spots. It's not that hard. There is supposed to be a peg here. There's a little peg right there that's supposed to peg into the little skirt that flips up, but because of the very soft plastic, it doesn't peg in real well. Overall, the only complaint I really have or can even think of is he is a little bit hard to pose in Dino Mode, but not too bad, and I would have loved to have seen this section here close up a little bit more, but those are by no means deal breakers. In fact, they're just nitpicks. Scorn is a solid dinosaur Transformers toy, and he definitely belongs in your collection. So guys, as usual, I'm Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you next time.